We're going to do a short series on all fours and eventually kneeling plank or full plank if that feels good for you. You'll need one band and you get to decide what color band. Really it's just here for feedback, not necessarily for strength of the band. So we'll start in all fours, hands and knees position. You decide where you need your alignment to be, generally wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. If fingers need to be turned out slightly, allow that. If they want to be turned out even further, do that. You can also go up onto a fist or come down onto forearms for any of this if the wrists don't tolerate this well. Hopefully what we do should actually take a little bit of effort off of the hands. One thing that can irritate the wrists and the hands is this feeling of our body weight sinking down, whether that's from our head, our shoulders, or our low back and rib cage. What we're going to work on is this feeling of elevating the head, pressing through the sides of the shoulders and the support of the rib cage and obliques, continuing that support into the bottom of the rib cage so that the core feels lifted and supported on the spine. All of that provides a sense of lift so that the weight of the body is again being elevated, not compressed through the wrists. So as you come into all fours, let's start with gaze down at the ground and just breathe here with this sense of ears lifting, shoulder blades pressing wide, and lower rib cage or navel area below the navel lifting up. Again, ears elevated to the ceiling, shoulder blades press wide around the side of the body, rib cage, navel area below the navel elevates to the ceiling. Gaze is down. As you're ready, with an exhale, let the gaze go to the knees or the navel, round the spine, press upwards a bit more, head and tail drop down. Breathe here. Soften where there's added tension or unnecessary tension. Gaze at the navel or the knees. One more breath. From here, look forward, look up, and with the eyes of the head, but also imagining there's eyes on your collarbones, look forward. Shoulder blades slightly draw together. Tailbone lifts, and once again, the ribs, the navel, and the area below the navel are still supporting upwards. This is what it would look like if I was not supporting upwards. Gaze of the eyes, gaze of the collarbones are forward, and breathe here. As you're ready, move at your own pace. Exhale, look to your knees, your navel, round your back. Take a breath or two here. Let go of unnecessary tension. Maybe shake the head or waggle the tail. Inhale, look forward. Keep the navel, the ribs, the area below the navel supported. Look forward from collarbones and eyes of the head. Breathe here. Let go of unnecessary tension. And once more, rounding the back, nose or navel, looking backwards, upwards. Inhale, looking forwards. From here, we'll take the band. We're going to start with the band around the very back of the head, and there's a sweet spot for the band to go. If it's too low, it'll drop down. If it's too high, it'll come up. So kind of find this sweet spot as you come in. We're again in all fours. We have the band just gently on the back of the head. It's not so tight that it's pulling my head down. And from here, we're going to exhale and elevate into the band, create a gentle stretch. Exhale, just gently let it go. Inhale or exhale to lift up. Exhale or inhale to drop down. In order to keep the band in place, my gaze has to remain downwards. Oftentimes as we do this, we'll lift and look forward. You'll notice that the band will move if that happens. So just a subtle head retraction. Lifting into the band, letting go. Decide whether that's an inhale or exhale that feels better as you lift, and let it go. Notice that feeling. Where is the effort? Where is maybe even a sense of stretch? After the next one, remove that. Move the band now around the shoulder blades. Fix your hair how you need to, make it staticky. Band now comes around the shoulder blades, just underneath the armpits. Sometimes this can irritate the thumb, so move the band how you need to. And similarly, as the head drops, the shoulder blades come together. Remember, maybe even feel that band still around your head. As you lift the head, press through and stretch the band. Inhale, let it go. Exhale, press wide. Think of pressing through pinky edge of hand, spiral elbow creases forward. Inhale, let it go. Exhale, press. If it feels better the other way, breathing, that's fine too. A little bit of scap isolation here with awareness of the head and eyes. Not a big move, not rounding the back like we did in cat and cow. Moving through the shoulder blades. Last one. Moving the band now down to lower rib cage. Maybe the area or level of the navel. Same thing, adjust on your hands how you need to. Once again, head drops, shoulders kind of drop, and then again with an exhale or an inhale if that's better for you. But here as we get into the core more, usually an exhale will help. Lift up head, press shoulder blades wide, and now reach into the band. Inhale, let it go. Exhale, lift into the band. Imagining the band being in 3 places now. Behind the head, behind the shoulder blades, and actually where it is at the lower ribs. Notice where you're working. Press through pinky edge of hand, release tension from the chest or the neck. One more this way. Relax out of that. Decide for you where it felt best for the band to be. Bring the band there. From here, walk the knees back into a kneeling plank if you can tolerate this. Again, if the wrists aren't liking this, come down and you can do all of this from a forearm position. Same idea, lift and hold. We're now just in a little bit more of a challenging position, kneeling plank, reach into the band. Even if the band isn't at your head, reach into it there, behind the shoulder blades and at the lower rib cage. Breathe and hold. One more breath. Relax back, push back in some way. It might be child's pose. It might be just on heels. Take a moment to relax and move as you need to. We'll do one more round of that. You can stay in your kneeling plank or you can go to a full plank. Again, the band might go in the same place. It might go in a different place, so it can go behind the head, behind the shoulder blades, or at lower rib cage. You decide. You can be on hands or forearms. I demoed on the kneeling plank on forearms. I'm going to go high plank here in a high push-up position or on hands. I'm going to move the band actually to my lower rib cage this time. Once again, lift, reach into the band where it actually is and those other 2 imaginary places. As you breathe, breathe into the band. As you exhale, reach into the band. Inhale, breathe into the band. Exhale, reach into the band. One more breath. Relax out of it. Remove the band. Reach back into child's pose or any other position of rest. Let yourself relax. Let your head rest. Check in with how you feel after doing that. Hopefully feel a little bit more effort in the abdominal area, the obliques in particular supporting the ribs, maybe even low abs, the serratus or side of the rib cage giving some support to your shoulders, and then maybe somewhere in the front of the neck without strain or tension, but somewhere deep on the side of the throat.